Anyone who says that passive income is not real, they're lying to themselves. Like, I'm sorry, but it's just not true. 100% passive income is 100% a reality, is 100% doable. It might not be easy to accomplish, but it exists. There are people out there getting like massive incomes, like more money than you make in a year, in a week or a month, and they're able to do that completely passively. Like, this is a real thing. Now, the easiest example of this is you just think about having money in the stock market. So this is like pretty common knowledge, I think. If you take the S&P 500 over the last, I don't know, since the stock market started or something, it's gotten an average of like 8% returns per year. So that means that if you had $1 million sitting in the S&P 500, you would get $80,000 in income from that every single year. And getting money from the stock market is 100% passive, especially if you already have the $1 million in there. It's already done. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is just like, you could probably set this up automatically even. I was going to say that you would have to click some buttons to get your $80,000, like to get your money out of there. You could do it like monthly, but probably within like Fidelity and then the other big investment company that you can like invest in the S&P 500, you could probably set it up to just have automatic withdrawals like every single month or every single week or whatever. There's probably a lot of retired people that do that with their retirement accounts. So like, it really doesn't get more passive than that. And there are people doing this. Like, I'm sorry to break it to you, but there are people doing this. Like, there are people that have $1 million in the S&P 500 or different stocks and investments, and they might be pulling out 80 grand a year. Or maybe they're not even withdrawing any money. All it is their savings. They're just letting it build and build and build and get more and more money into the investment account. And it's getting more and more passive income every single year. Like, this is a real thing. I even have I just experienced some pretty awesome, very passive income myself over the past like 8 months or something like that, which I'm going to tell you about. And I currently, it just ended basically, but I also have completely passive income coming in from other YouTube channels that I have too. And the one that I have that just ended was I had basically a small car rental business through the app called Turo, Turo. Now, this is the only car that I really did that this happened with, at least for this amount of time. But I had one car on there, and actually for the past 3 months or so, I haven't even been living there. So it's like, it was completely passive. I had one car. This lady, she first rented it on December 24th of 2023 on Christmas Day. And the rental just ended like 4 or 5 days ago or something like that. So it's towards the end of July now. So I think that would be 8 months, or I guess 7 months. I'm not sure exactly. And what I just realized is I was getting in revenue about $1,200, pretty much $1,200 every single month. It was $39 and some change every single day I was getting from this. Now, it wasn't 100% passive. The main thing I had to do was click a button. At first it was every 3 days. She was renewing the rental every 3 days. After a while, she was renewing it every day. So I basically had to click a button on my phone every single day to just approve her extending the rental for one more day. And I would consider that passive. So I'd say on average it took like a minute a day. Now, there are a couple other things I had to do. The very first time she rented it in December, I had to clean the car and get it ready. So I don't know, maybe that took like an hour or something. And when I first bought the car, I had to put in the time and effort buying it, which I don't know, maybe that took like a couple days of work or 3 days of work or something. And then there was one day where something happened. She ran out of money or some issue happened. She was renewing it. So I had to restart the rental over again and start a new rental. And I got my friend, my old neighbor, to deal with it. So there's quite a bit of texting on my end that I had to do. And I don't know, maybe that took like a couple hours or something. I had to do that like a month or maybe 2 months ago. That was it. That was all the money. That was all the work that I did. And what I realized was after those 8 or 9 months, I was just putting in the data into my spreadsheet, and I think it was very close to, and not just the revenue, I put in all the expenses. Like I had to buy a new battery for it recently, I had to pay for a few oil changes, all these expenses. I bought new tires for it, I think, when I first bought it, or some other repair or something. I paid $9,000 for the car when I first got it. After these 7 or 8 months or whatever from this one lady renting it, basically I made about $8,000 or $9,000 in profit. But I still have the car that I can sell, and I can keep renting it out to other people, which I'm going to try doing that first, although I have a feeling it won't really work that well unless I get another long-term rental, because I have to pay my friend to do it, and his availability isn't as good as mine. So, but I can sell that car. I know I can sell it for at least $8,000. I might even be able to sell it for the $9,000 that I bought it for. So basically I made, I don't know, like $8,000 profit, about $1,000 per month in completely passive income over the past 7 or 8 months, or whatever it is. And I'm going to talk about my YouTube channels as well. There's all sorts of ways to make passive income, by the way. Like people always, people will say the people that don't believe, the people that are, these people, they're just mad that they have to work a normal job, and they can't admit the fact that it is possible to do this, because then they would have to admit that they are wrong. They would have to admit that, maybe they've been working this job for the last 40 years, like 40 hours a week, busting their ass, when they could have been doing something different. It's very, very painful to admit things like that to yourself. This is why people say things like that. Like, you can look through the comments in my videos. A lot of people are like this. There's so many ways to make passive income. Like, you can be a business owner and pretty much hire people to do everything. There's always going to be people that say, oh, but you have to run everything and blah, blah, blah. It's never passive. Like, it can be. Like, you can make it so it's basically completely passive. Like, it is up to you. Like, if you own a restaurant, maybe you're not going to get that to where it's very passive, but there are tons of businesses that are much more simple than that and much more way more passive. And the thing is with passive income, though, is you do have to work for it. Unless you won the lottery, you just get inherit an investment portfolio or a bunch of money or whatever. You do have to work for it. But the thing is you're putting in the work up front. You're putting in the work up front. So let me talk about my other YouTube channels. They're a great example. I have a channel that brings me in about $100 a month. It's completely passive. I haven't really made any videos for that channel in like a few. Well, now I'm changing the channel so it's different. But I have made a bunch. I've gotten a bunch. Well, I'm actually hiring someone to do videos for it now. But most of my videos were how to do like specific car repairs on a specific car. Some of these videos are like, I made them like 4 years ago. They're still bringing in pretty much the exact same amount of income every single month. I pretty much stopped working on that channel like a year or a couple years ago. This guy's not letting me sit up here. And this channel will keep bringing in the same $100 a month for the next like I would estimate like 5 years, just since they're specific car repairs. They're not technology based things that are going to change. The people searching for these videos, this is why the traffic comes in so passively, is because people search for this specific car repair, and I have the best video or the only video on how to do it. So most of my videos are ranking up #1 on Google search and on YouTube search. And as long as people are still repairing these cars, my videos will still get the same amount of views. Like, you look at the graphs for the income and the views, and it's just like this. It's like steady, 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 just going up and up and up and up. It is not like the type of videos on this channel on YouTube where they just kind of go viral for like a few days and they die off or whatever. the graphs are like this. They go up and they're just flat because they just die off. Most of the videos on this channel, except for the one that got a lot of views, they go like this for 3 days and then boom, they just die off. This other channel is completely passive. I was basically doing nothing on that channel for the last like year or two. It has just got 1.2 million views, and it's brought in almost $4,000 from that channel. $100 a month, completely passive income. If I didn't do any other video on that channel, it would still bring me in this $100 a month, like I think for the next probably 4 or 5 years. And I actually have another channel, a video game one. That one brings me in $20 a month, and I haven't done anything on that channel for like a year or two or something. And basically, if you just look at the income graph, since it's been monetized, it's just like flat. The income is like totally predictable, totally passive, and just totally like that. And actually, I just bought a new course on this, how to do more of this type of YouTube channel. Like I said, I'm hiring someone to do the videos now for me, and it's very reasonable that like the work I do is finding the video topics on what videos to make. Very reasonable. I could spend like 5-6 hours a week working on it to get like 20 videos made for it per week, and all I have to do is the research on the videos and pay somebody else to do them. I haven't started paying somebody else to upload the videos yet. I've been doing that myself, but it's the amount of work is like very, very little. And with these search type of channels, you can stop making videos like I'm saying with my channel, and they just keep going. Like the income is completely passive. And these are just two different, like completely different businesses, which I've told you right here that I've gotten like pretty much completely passive income results from. The YouTube is even more passive. And I plan on building this channel up. I just plan on keep building it up. Like my first goal, I want to get it to 500 a month, then 1,000, then 2,000. I just want to keep building this channel up to where it's more and more passive. Don't believe in your own lies or bullshit that other people say. It is completely doable, like 100% possible to get passive income. And there are different levels of passive income. Like it doesn't have to be 100% passive like this YouTube idea. I've had a bunch of other like little businesses or hustles I've done or whatever you want to call them that are like way more passive than the normal job, even if they weren't like totally passive. Like the Turo thing I was doing, I wouldn't call that passive except for like when I get those really long rentals, but I wasn't working 40 hours a week. Like it was way more passive than a normal job. If you want to learn more stuff that I've done to get pretty passive income, or basically all the stuff I've done to make money, you can watch my video. It's called I struggled my entire life to try to get passive income or something like that.